to the ground. You're dragging me. It's constantly. No, I won't make a sound. I love the pain. It sets me free. It's wrong, I can't make right. I love the bird below. You tell myself that this is the last time. It's wrong, I can't make right. Slipping off in the moonlight when I knew the truth. I hurt myself for you. On the ground, I know the truth. I know the truth. Oh, now I'm on the ground. I know the truth. I'm shaking now, 'cause you say those things, then shut me out. Got no clue what you have found. I'm a rose in thorns, but you cut me down. It's wrong, I can't make right. I love the bird below. You tell myself that this is the last time. It's wrong, I can't make right. Slipping off in the moonlight when I knew the truth. I hurt myself for you. I know the truth. Oh, now I know the truth. I hurt myself for you. Let it down, let it down, let it down, sometimes. Let it down, let it down, let it down, sometimes. These feelings inside, butterflies, fly with me tonight. These feelings inside, butterflies, fly with me tonight.
You can knock me down, but I'll find a way. She said you don't know. She said you don't know. Eyes wide, tongue tied, midnight. You can say all that you want, but you and I were meant for this. You know, sometimes we hide behind this illusion that we're done. Oh, please see that you're wrong in this. I don't fall in love 'cause I'm here tonight. I don't wanna say it, but it just feels right. I took a pill just to pass the time. I wanna stay at the back of your mind. We've seen it all before, and don't get me wrong, but I'm done with these games. But I'll hold on to faith. You and I are stuck on this. I can't seem to let us go. It's not too late. Just show it your faith this time. Just show it your faith this time. I still feel like you lied about the way that you can't love. We should've never let this go. No, we were the catch